Hi, I'm Lisa Jang, also known as the Yin Yoga Muse. Grab 2 blocks. In today's 20-minute practice, we'll work through the arms, the shoulders, and a little bit through the neck. Grab your blocks, and let's start off in our Japanese Seiza pose. I've decided to use 1 block, place it between the heels, landscape, and begin to ground your sitting bones down towards the blocks. If you're uncomfortable this way, you can also just sit cross-legged, no problem. But sit nice and tall, close your eyes, and just begin to notice. Notice how you're feeling. And begin to just breathe, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And just do this a few times. Once you're ready, we're going to shift to our tabletop position and take a few cat-cows. So as you take your cat-cow, again, noticing how you're feeling in your body. Noticing the right side and the left side, and just breathing up and down the length of your spine. Really using your breath as an anchor to connect mind and body. And let's start off with our first Yin Yoga pose. So let's go ahead and have a seat, sitting on our left sitting bone. And we're going to use our right hand to grab at our right ankle. So you can see my legs are in 1990 shape or stag legs, and I'm specifically working on through the right side of the neck. When you're ready, gently drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And as you do this, you'll feel a nice gentle tug and pull in towards the right side of your neck. Now, I want you to just explore the angles. You can have your chin tilted down. Maybe your left ear slowly starts to turn towards the side, or maybe it starts to turn all the way up. Choosing a position that really feels like it's opening up any areas of tension or releasing tension through the right side of your neck for you. Now, as you're in this position, just encourage your breathing to head towards that right side of your neck. Gentle inhale and a deep decompressing exhale. But see if you can breathe 3-dimensionally in towards your body as opposed to just breathing into the shoulders. So notice that. And allow your breath to sink in more deeply. Taking your time, letting go of any gripping, and allowing the tissues to slowly respond to this gentle load. Remember, we're not looking for too little. We're not looking for too much, but just right. When you're ready, use your opposite hand there to press to the side of your head to bring your head all the way up. Gently pause and feel the rebound. Breathe into the sensations. And then as you're ready, gently switch sides. So feel free to take rebound longer. I've taken a short one here just for video purposes. But again, this time we're going to head in towards sitting towards our right hip and our stag leg position. And then gently taking your left hand to hold your left ankle. Once you have that, gently draw your right ear. Drop it towards your right shoulder. And just breathe there for a moment. I encourage you to explore different angles as well on this side. You might have your chin facing down, your neck more neutral, or maybe your head just turned facing the front. Or as I'm doing here, my chin is down so I can really access the tension in towards my upper traps. Again, choose which angle is most beneficial for you. And encourage that three-dimensional breathing as much as you can without force. Breathing in and slowly breathing out. Really allowing the tension to simply melt away from your shoulders, from your neck, even from maybe your head. As you're ready, use your right hand to guide your head all the way back up. And again, a moment here to pause. Feel free to press the pause button if you want to stay here longer to notice the rebound, which I encourage you to do. Otherwise, we are moving on. I'm going to grab my block again and set it between my heels, sitting in Japanese Seiza pose. The target here is through the non-hairy side of the arm and the palm. So notice I have taken my right hand and I have pointed my palm forward, fingers facing down. You can hold it that way, or you can place your hand down towards your right thigh as I'm showing here. Soften through your right shoulder and your elbow, and just begin to notice that this angle might not work for you. If it doesn't, you can simply take your hand down towards the ground instead. I haven't shown you in this video that variation, but choose one that works best for your body. Remember, proportionately we're different, and as well your tissue might be really stiff there. So I want you to choose something that really works for you, where you can hold this posture in a nice, healthy way and a sustainable way as well. Breathe in towards the inseam of your arm and in towards your hands. And then notice if you are shrugging your shoulder up towards your ear. Allow your shoulder just to drop. And again, notice your breathing. So I've noticed lately that when I breathe and there's tension, I hold my breath in towards my shoulders. So let go of that if you find that as well. As you're ready, slowly release the pose. And on this one, I'm taking a little bit of a release. I'm coming to all fours and noticing the different range on each side, the range of motion, the openness. And I'm just moving my hands around, twirls in the wrists. And I'm coming back just to notice the range of motion in each hand and each forearm. So when you're ready, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, you can just hold your hand out and just use your other hand to come into that flexion of the wrist. Otherwise, gently guide that hand towards the top of your left thigh. Again, choose what really works for you. Again, it doesn't need to be on the thigh. You can have it down towards the ground and you can lean forward. Our objective here is not to look for the largest sensation, because this one in itself is a very strong pose. So typically in this one, I feel it a lot when I have released the pose. So don't go too far, just enough to feel that sensation of that tug and pull in the tissues and that subtle openness. Now again, notice your breathing. Again, notice your shoulders are shrugging up and allow your shoulders to drop down and breathe more fully around the circumference of your rib cage. Notice your breathing. And as you're ready, gently open your eyes, really taking your time to feel the release of the shape. Notice your hands. You can open and close your hands, your palms, your fingers. Wiggle the fingers. Come back to all fours. Shift forward, shift back, and pause. Notice the wrists. Notice the palms of your hands. As you're ready, we're heading to our next pose, so you might need to pad up your knees. We're heading to thread the needle. So coming to all fours, gently extend your right arm up and thread it underneath your left arm. Take your time as you're here to maybe finger crawl your hand towards the left side of the room. And you may want to take the kickstand variation here, in which we call rolling panda. Once you're there, explore the positioning of the left arm. You might want it behind you, kind of wrapped behind you. Otherwise, you can have it down towards the earth, choosing what works best for you at this very moment. Really take the time here to marinate in this pose, feeling the back of your right shoulder, maybe even towards the side of your arm into the side deltoid, and in towards the side of your neck as you're here. Without force, just feeling a sense of ease as you're in your rolling panda pose. I encourage you again to notice your breathing and just allow your breath once again, without force, to be full and compassionate. Slowly breathing in and slowly breathing out. And do that on your own a few more times as you're here. As you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and slowly come back to your tabletop position, taking a bit of a rebound here and just noticing how you feel. Again, feel free to pause, notice more rebound. Otherwise, we are proceeding to head to our second side. So as you can see, I've threaded the left arm underneath. And I'm exploring here what I should do with that right arm, whether it's having it behind me or even finger crawl it forward away from my head. That might be something nice for you as well. So again, I encourage you to explore which angle does really work for you, where you're not feeling like you're expending too much energy, no muscular engagement, but again, finding that sweet spot, that Goldilocks, not too little, not too much, but just right. And once you're there, again, encouraging a full, compassionate, unforced breath and a very sweet dialogue, a very mindful one and meaningful dialogue. As you're ready, go ahead and unravel. Again, feel free to take a child's pose or take a moment there just to pause and really noticing how you feel in your body. Now I've taken child's pose now and walked my hands over towards the left corner of my mat so I can feel a subtle lengthening through the right side of my body. Allow your right sitting bone to anchor down towards your right heel as you're here. And this time, see if you can breathe in towards the right side of your rib cage, in towards the right side of your low back. And really encouraging letting go of tension and letting go of striving. As you're ready, take a moment there to find your way back to center, lingering there for a moment, maybe longer. Again, you can always pause the video and then just begin to meander towards the other side. So walking your hands over towards the right corner of the room, encouraging a subtle opening through the left side of your body. I can see how this feels. If it's too much, if you're holding your breath, then I encourage you to just shift back a little where the positioning is not so strenuous or laborious to your breath. Again, notice your breathing. Notice the spaces. Notice the surrender. As you're ready, we're going to slowly come back to center and maybe linger there for longer. Again, you can place this video on pause and really notice the rebounds, really enjoying the release of tension. We're going to come back to all fours and take a cat-cow just to, again, get some movement, some energy moving through the body. We're coming to child's pose. This one is going to be a little bit different. It's a quasi child's pose. And look how I've positioned my hands so palms are facing up, back of your hands facing down towards the ground, curling your fingers in towards your palms and lifting slightly away from the ground, doming through the upper back to get a subtle opening through the back or the hairy side of the arm, the back of your wrist there. Now I've taken a little break there just because it was a little bit too much, and I slowly have come back into this pose. This one we're not going to hold for very long, but just enough to create a sense of opening through that back of the arm, through that the hairy side of the arm. When you're done, just roll the wrists. Become aware of how your arms and your hands are feeling. And then from here, we're going to slowly find a seat. We're going to take our blocks into our heart opener, Both of them are going to be landscape mode. And the one at the bottom tips of my shoulder blades is on the second level. The one behind my skull is on the highest level. You can change the angles of this. We're just looking for an opening through the heart space, through the front body. Legs can be however you like, however you feel comfortable. Now, you may want to linger here for a little bit longer, but for video purposes, I'm going to just close out the practice here. So really, thank you for joining in and practicing with me today. Namaste.